Warning, please wear the proper safety attire, goggles, surgical gloves, and lab gown or apron if you would like to perform the experiment. We are not responsible for any accidents or injuries caused within your premises.
First, of course, you need to get your materials ready. Your spot plates, your test tubes, your straws, your droppers, your distilled water, hydrochloric acid, and iodine solution. Let's start off with solid A. Place it gently inside the first spot on the spot plate. Make sure that it is on the first spot so that you won't get messed up. Of course, the next one is solid B. While placing solid B, do the same so that it is neatly organized. Place it beside solid A. Isn't it exciting to see such beauty? Let's just wait for a little moment and place everything that we've got to place to make it equal to solid A. Remember that we'll be testing these solids, so make sure to have enough. Well folks, we've got 4 more to go. We'll now place solid C. Place it on the third spot, right beside solid B. Try to estimate an equal amount, just like what you did to solid B. Well, you see it's quite hard to get the solid inside the test tube, so you really need to tap it and tap it until you get your chance. With enough effort, I've gotten solid C. Now, I'm placing it on the third spot. Well, since I'm done with solid C, now I get solid D. Using the straw, I get the solid once again and place it on the fourth spot. Well, this is the last one. I've just placed solid E. Now, time for some recording. Well, what I have here is our record paper. What I first placed is the state of the solids in room temperature. Next to that, I placed the colors of the solids. Well, we've also recorded the clarity of the objects, if it was clear or opaque, and we also recorded its crystal shapes, if they were small cubes, powder, or granular. To make sure, we used a magnifying glass. For the next part of our experiment, we're gonna use the test glass. But of course, we've got to clean it first. On the next part of our experiment, we now place each solid on the test plate and mix it with distilled water and see the reaction. Is it soluble? Is it insoluble? Let's find out. After this, we now mix the solvent and the solute using the toothpick. Well, now that you're done with it, you now observe and check and record your observations. The next step is to test solid B. However, before doing that, make sure that you've already washed off all the remains of solid A and dried it off with cloth. Now on the test plate is solid B. Mix it with distilled water too, and mix it using the toothpick. Same with solid A, we've also recorded our observations on our record sheet. The process on solid C is very much the same with solid B and A. Here we have solid C. Now we'll mix it too with distilled water. Using the dropper, we now drop drops of water gently, just like the other two. Well, here it is, being mixed using the toothpick. Record your observations and go to solid D. Fantastic! We've now reached to the solid D. Place the right amount, mix it with water, use the toothpick, and then record your observations. Amazing, folks! We've now finished with solid D. The water and the substance has been mixed. The process in solid D cannot be any different, just as easy as 1, 2, 3. And there you have it. All solids have been mixed with water. Make sure that you record all observations. And let's go to the next step of our experiment. Well, it's getting too intense. We'll now see how these solids react to hydrochloric acid. We're now gonna drop those acids on that solid and see what happens. Record your observations too. And we're done with the mixing. We now move to substance B. Mix it too with the toothpick, and the same process goes. Substance C is here, and we've placed some acid. Make sure to mix it properly. Now look at this right here, solid D, now having some reaction with the hydrochloric acid. Last but not least, let's now end with solid E. Observe and record. This time, we're going to the last step of our experiment. We're going to test each based on their reaction to iodine solution. Place it on each spot. See and observe. Make sure to place equal amounts as much as possible. But wait, there's more! Of course, we can't miss the evidence itself. Using the information we had with all those pure substances, we'll now see the composition of this evidence. We'll be seeing its physical properties and its chemical properties by mixing it with distilled water, hydrochloric acid, and iodine solution. In this case, we've placed a sample of the evidence on each of the 3 spots. First, we've placed the distilled water. We mixed it too with toothpick. The next step was for us to place the acid on the second spot. And we also mixed it. Finally, we placed the iodine solution on the third spot. We mixed it again, and time to record our observations. Our observations: substance mixed with water, evidence mixed with acid, and lastly, mixed with iodine. Then, we've recorded our last observations on the first table. Of course, don't forget to clean your area. Before we finished, we just answered the last table of our observation sheet. We found out the two substances which compose of the evidence. We hope that this step-by-step process helped a lot. Thank you very much and see you next time.